Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 91. Coming up on that 100. I know I'm a little bit late tonight, but it's all good. We're going to talk about Batman, Peter Jackson, Harvey Weinstein, an effing GamerGate movie, show, thing, bullshit is what it is. All that and more right now. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to the program tonight again. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I had originally set it for 10:30. There was a glitch with StreamYard, and then I screwed up again, and I'm like a few minutes behind. But that's all right. That's all right, because you're here, I'm here, we're here. Maybe some of us are queer. I don't know.
Certainly are.
Certainly, I'm sure some people here in the audience are, and that is all good. And also get used to it, because we're all here together. So let's all come at the same time.
You're gonna start the show. Oh man, this is.
I'm making a horrible joke. Is what's going to be going on. But today has been a very interesting day. I was telling this to Anna really quickly before we went live. One of my, I would probably call, like, you know how it is when you're a kid and you got like a really good friend, like it's kind of like a second family.
Yeah.
So like my friend's dad, who was kind of like my like second father, second, third father, whatever. I found out tonight he's got terminal cancer and he doesn't have a long time left. So that's kind of been on my mind, and then that's probably one of the reasons why things screwed up. So it's been kind of an off day on that front, and that sucks because the guy was cool, man. This guy got in. This guy was a huge nerd, like a huge gamer. He turned his garage into literally like an old school arcade.
That's so cool.
They would go out. No, I'm not even kidding you. Like, we're talking, remember, you know, the original like Star Wars arcade game? The Darth Vader, like it's the trench run where, you know, you've got like you're piloting the X-Wing and it's all
I've only
black and green
experiences with arcades.
Oh, I forgot. You're so fucking young.
Yeah.
You're so young.
They pretty much were already on their way out by the time I was a child, so I didn't really.
Yeah, well, no, those were definitely all. Yeah, they were all out. Like, but the original, and I'm sure people in the chat here, will definitely know what I'm talking about. But it's like, this is one of those things where like they would throw the most wicked Halloween parties. And they had like the rec room they had for the arcade stuff. There was like a pool table, a foosball table, an air hockey table, tons of freaking arcade games. And then they would turn their garage into a haunted house. They would also turn their front yard into a haunted cemetery. They would have like a gigantic animatronic like spider that would like spit out, like, you know, one of those families, right? And they would offer up every night. They go, hey, come on over. We're going to run this all throughout Halloween. You guys can come down. Go right to the, you know, tour the haunted cemetery, the haunted house. And then if you want to like donate something at the end to help cover some of the costs, it's cool. But they offered it for free to the neighborhood. You know, like they were just like,
sounds like an all around good group of folks, really.
It was a really good group of folks. They were like, I was there all the time. Like we would do the Halloween parties. I was like, you know, best friends with their kid, you know, and yeah, so like that fucking sucks. And, so yeah, I've been kind of processing that tonight, you know, thinking back to like one time. I'll put it to you like this. To give you guys an idea, and I wish I had photos handy, but I don't. One Halloween party, I wanted to win. They would give away arcade games because this was like their side business. They would buy old arcade games, they would fix them up, and they would put them in bars. Mm-hmm. That's how they made their money. And they made a lot of money doing it. But like one of them was like, I dressed as this guy for Halloween. That was my Halloween costume. I think like when I was 17. So I, you know, like I just, cause his name is Daryl, and I just put up a name tag. I actually got one of his shirts that my friend allowed me to get. He was bald. He had like with like a mullet, you know? And so I got like the same kind of like hairdo, wig. And then I just put in the name tag, says, hi, my name is Daryl and I'm an alcoholic. But I didn't tell him about it he didn't know about it until I got there. And he fucking died laughing. Like, so it was totally worth it to just, you know, that was the kind of like relationship I had with the family, you know? So that part sucked. So that's been kind of the shitty thing today.
I'm sorry to hear, man. That's a lot to deal with. I've lost some good people to the exact same shit, and it's never easy. But I'm
Yeah.
sure, I'm here for you. The people in the chat, I'm here supportive. I'm sure are supportive. Like,
Oh no, I 100% believe that. And I think everybody too. It's been to me, it's been really, really, really interesting. Because of like, because as soon as I found out, because my mom knew him too, I called my mom to let her know. And then I was like, hey, you haven't seen your grandkids in a while. Maybe get up on that shit. So, like hopefully my mom will come up, because this with COVID and the travel distance and everything else, it's been.
But still, though, even with all the shit that's going on, you still got to make some time for family at least, because you never know what will happen. You know what I mean? Not just family too, but like, people you care about are really close to. You get to know someone well enough, they're part of your life for so long, and they become like your family.
Yeah.
So
no, that's the case. That's how a lot of this goes. That's how a lot of us end up kind of, look at people who are like, oh, I met this person on the internet, and then all of a sudden now I'm at their place and like I'm hanging out,
Some people are there's even some people out there who are living really bad living situations, and in some extreme cases, like the fact that they made a friend on the internet is what got them out of that, and that's absolutely fucking crazy. In a good way, like,
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the big, a big part of everything. And, that's why, the internet has done really good to kind of bring us all together. And then of course, also to like, I guess, find ways to like, make us want to kill each other at the same time.
No, sure, definitely. Yeah.
Did you hear, I heard something today, and I don't know, did you, okay. So, like Facebook was down for the most part.
Yeah. I was going to mention that actually.
Yeah, that was pretty big. Facebook went down, but one of the things I had seen, from Vosh, who was like a far left YouTuber. And I think that's a fair way to describe Vosh, however you want to pronounce it. But he had said that there was a leak that came out the other day that had talked about how like certain political people in Europe had actually gone, like politicians in Europe that were conservative went further to the right because they were trying to keep up with their base, in part because of Facebook misinformation. And if you think about that for a second, right, it's like, like these senators, and I'm not trying to go too political and shit, but like these senators that we have now, they say the darndest things. And people say the darndest things in order to appease their base that, 5-6 years ago, they wouldn't have said.
Of course, because they're going to do whatever gets them votes.
Yeah, or, look at Hollywood, right? Hollywood is going to say things that, they're going to come out and they're going to be like...
Whatever makes them money.
Yeah, whatever makes them money or scores them social points, so they're able to then use that to maybe kind of mine currency. But as we've learned, that's not the case. That's not the case in many instances. If you make good content, people out there will be very happy. But so Facebook was down today, Instagram was down, WhatsApp was down. I mean, this was not a good day for Facebook, and I'm wondering if that had anything to do with that whole Pandora paper thing, but I'm not talking about that here. It's been a weird day, right? It's been a really, really, really weird day, Annie. There's been so much craziness going on that it's hard to keep up with it. And it's only fucking Tuesday, like I was going to try to go see Venom tonight. I went out to go do delivery driving. Think, okay, if I nail $50, I'll be good. I can go home. That's just my goal for the day, because Tuesdays are generally slower. And then I find out that I got fucking flagged on Uber for some reason, and I've been suspended for 3 days, pending an investigation.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
The culprit is? Who?
No, I don't know. I have a feeling it's like maybe I took too long, too many times. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to really like communicate this stuff very well. It just told me that like my account was flagged, and I'm just like, there's karma. The
crazy thing about that is like they don't look at it like they should, because like it's going to be skewed towards negative reviews, because it's very rare that someone will leave a positive review. Maybe if you somehow manage to do an outstanding job, but that seems like a mesh of circumstances that pull together to someone getting an order that really satisfies them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Super
it's more
weird.
Likely. People
apparently
are always
I was
like comment if they're being negative too.
Apparently I was wrong. Today's Monday. I thought today was Tuesday. I don't know what day it is anymore. That's what happens when you have children during the pandemic. You don't know what day it is
Oh
anymore.
no, it's Tuesday here. Yeah,
It's too.
no.
It's too. It is too. Yeah, yeah.
So you're right
So
for me.
honestly,
You're right
I
for me.
honestly thought the What If season finale was tonight. I was like, all right, I'm going to end the show, go watch it, go to bed. Cool. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to rush to watch it. That's tomorrow night.
I'm gonna have to watch that entire series before that day if I wanna. Like that gives me like 2 days basically to watch that whole series. Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's definitely to me it's definitely pretty funny that those are easy to get through too, by the way. Those are
they're
like
only 30
super
minutes. Yeah, that's true.
those are like super easy to get through. Like you're not I wouldn't even worry about it too much, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I wanted to like do a stream talking about like the finale because like I feel like this is. And look, I don't know if it's because it's animation, but this has definitely been like the least popular like Marvel, Disney Plus series to come out so far.
Well, and I have a theory on that. My theory on the reason why it is that way has everything to do with the fact that it's not connected. I mean, it is kind of now. They are finding ways to connect it. And I mean, I think we all kind of figured that was going to happen in general. But in reality, it's like it was something that it wasn't touted as being like a chapter in the
It was
story.
touted as being the opposite.
Yeah, it was like ponder the question of what if
What if?
Ant-Man went into Thanos' asshole. Like that should be a fucking
awesome.
episode. I swear to God, that should be an
will
episode.
It
They
will.
should totally do it. Like, I mean, I think they would be losing out on a whole bunch of goodwill with the Reddit meme community and everything else. Like, if they're ever in dire straits as a company, like if they're ever just in dire straits and they just need to pull out a quick W,
Out of their ass.
Ant-Man, Thanos' ass, like right there.
Well, we know for a fact they're doing a season 2, and I think would be a really funny episode for season 2. Just a bunch of like smaller, like non sequiturs that they couldn't make into full episodes, but funny ideas. I feel like that could actually be an interesting episode for an episode of What If. Just like
Well, they are
focused on
doing
one
another
hero.
comedy episode next season. They've
Yeah?
already said that.
Well,
I think that was
maybe. We'll see.
well, I think that was the one that got cut because it was supposed to be 10 episodes, not 9 episodes, but because of COVID, they had to cut one,
Interesting.
and they're holding it until next season. And I think that in this particular case, like they said, I think AC Bradley, the showrunner, the head writer, she had said that that like it was going to be a comedy, kind of like the Thor, like what if Thor was an only child episode, which was fun. I liked it, but it wasn't like my favorite. It felt like it was trying too hard. My favorite ones are the ones where like it just kind of it starts to tell a cool story, not just like like a kind of an offshoot.
It's difficult to get really invested in these characters when we know, like, I know at this point we know it's building up to at least something, but like it was initially pitched in a way where it was like this is just like a different take. Each episode's its own thing. We know that's no longer the case, but that was
well,
like,
and it's the whole point though is that's meant to be like the right call in this situation. You know what I mean? Like that's meant to be the right idea. There is like if you're touting it all as being connected, then for the love of Christ, make it fucking connected. And don't skimp on that shit. Like, you know what? Like that's the whole notion here is like don't sit there and like make something that is so remarkably different that it's going to throw off part of the fan base. And I mean, obviously they were building towards something. I get that. And they've done well, but it's kind of like, it's going to take that time to get there. Like, I don't think they should have hid that from people. I really don't. I think people want to know this kind of stuff. I think like it goes a long way to, I think like dissuade controversy. If people know what's coming and you're not spoiling what's going to happen, but it's like they go, oh, okay, I know what's coming down the pipeline. It's all right. That makes sense.
no, I agree with you. I get
Okay.
what you're saying. I just think I don't know. I feel like there's several hurdles in the way of that show, and I'll probably dive into it more in my stream talking about it because I do want to finish it at least because I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes, and I want
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's like Star Wars Visions. I really liked as well, even though there weren't as many episodes that like I only thought like a couple of them were really solid, but the ones that were really solid were really solid.
Cool. Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed those. I also need to watch them again because like when I tried like my kids were just how it is like like I was trying to watch the new episode of Bob's Burgers tonight, and my daughter was like just not having what we were having for dinner. It was so fucking funny. We got our mac and cheese, but it's not the normal kind of mac and cheese we get. This is like white cheddar mac and cheese, so it's a little bit bitter on the back end, right? It's like an acquired taste. Like a 3-year-old is not going to really like it. If it's not Kraft, right? Like they're not really going to like it. So like, but I finally put ketchup on the mac and cheese because ketchup on mac and cheese is good. So it's like, but she was fighting me on it forever until she finally tried it. And then she's all like, oh, yeah, that was good. She came back, she ate the rest of it, you know? But like during that whole conversation, I missed the episode of Bob's Burgers. I got to watch it again. I got to watch it again tomorrow.
That's just how it is, you know, sometimes when things like that come up. I used to live in a house with 8 cats, so you can only imagine, like, how it is taking care of that many animals.
I had 5. I had 5.
Still way more.
I had 5 cats at the height of everything before the forest took them. You
That's
know,
a lot of kitties.
That's a lot of cats. I have 2 left now, and one of them literally shits on the roof, on the awning over my back porch, because it has like she just goes because she's so neurotic. I have to get up there and like clean it constantly. You know.
Also,
so
I don't like ketchup on mac and cheese. That's terrible.
Nah, that's no. What, ketchup on mac? Get out! No, you are fucking weird, dude. It's like you're gonna tell me next that ketchup on scrambled eggs isn't good.
It's not.
It is. What
Ketchup's
do you think?
good on very few things.
What, you think mustard? You think mustard is where it's at?
What?
On scrambled eggs?
No, but I do like mustard more in general.
I prefer mustard over ketchup, yeah, but you know, on eggs it works, man.
Well,
like,
okay, I've got a question. This is like really important to me. Do you like ketchup on a hot dog?
yeah.
Fuck, that's terrible. No.
How the what?
Mustard's good on a hot dog. Ketchup.
Mustard is good on hot dogs. So is fucking onions and like shit. I'm not a big relish guy.
And onions on a fucking hot dog.
Yeah, I'm not a big relish guy.
Relish sucks, but ketchup on a hot dog, I don't know, man.
How the fuck do you? I mean, like it's salty and sweet, dude. It's bitter and it's sweet. You get the kick from the mustard, and then you get the nice sweet tangy tomato paste. You know.
I don't
right
know,
that on the back end of that shit, it's like you know, I mean, but I'll put it to you like this, because getting back to the subject of fucking movies and everything.
Oh yeah, okay.
I you know, when it comes to popcorn, I prefer air popped, no butter popcorn.
What? You don't
Seriously,
like
I don't. No, man, I'll fuck that shit. You know,
wait,
butter.
You hate movie theater butter, right?
I hate movie theater butter because it's not butter. It's fucking oil.
And yet, I find it delicious.
Yeah, well, you know, like you haven't had air pop popcorn with pepper, or that's where it's at, dude.
That sounds good too.
That's very good.
Yeah,
but I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love like the flavor call, you know what I mean, that goes into like the popcorn and shit. Like I love movie theater popcorn. But it's like the butter is just like, it's unnecessary. But if you put on, let's say, jalapenos, you go get a cup of jalapenos and put some jalapenos on there, that you get that sweet and salty.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good too.
Approach it's pretty decent. Or you get rid of the butter and you just get jalapeno juice and dip that on, drench that on there, man.
That sounds too like, no, that sounds
it's
good.
messy. It's messy. It really is. It really
a bit messy. Yeah.
It's difficult to navigate in the dark. You know, it really is difficult to navigate in the dark, which is why I don't really do it very often. But you know, but if you get nachos and shit, right?
Interesting
like, again,
conversation in the Jarbo-verse.
I'm just saying. That. Well, no, there's like food. You know, food is part of it. Like we get trained.
It is part of the theater experience.
Yeah, like we get trained to like when there's high action sequences, we'll eat popcorn. We like to. It's a visceral response. I'll go to the theater and shit, and I sit down. I get there early. I get my seat. I get my popcorn. I get a medium popcorn because I'm trying to cut down on calories, so I don't go for the large, even though fuck it, what would it matter? You know, and I'm sitting there snacking on it and everything else. And then I realized that because of the adverts and because of the commercials and everything, by the time the actual goddamn movie starts, I've already gone through like half my fucking popcorn.
Yeah. Hey, do you get any like candy or any shit when you go to the theater? It's overpriced.
Nah, I'm a diabetic. That's why I don't do it.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's right.
So I mean, well, I never really did it anyway. Like, I mean, look, like for my candy preference is like generally like sweet tarts are my favorite. I love sweet tarts and Butterfinger. It's very kind of odd. Those are my two go-tos. Butterfinger is the shit, dude.
Butterfinger is pretty good. It's messy as fuck though.
If you know how to, if you know how to break it off right, think of it like, I mean, not to, you know, it's kind of like a person who breaks off fucking who breaks off a Butterfinger bar and makes a mess would be terrible at giving a blowjob, because, and I'm just saying this like not out of experience, but it's just like, because it's really all about the technique of wrapping your lips around it and then breaking it off. so you don't, so it diminishes the amount of crumbs. But if you just use your teeth on it and you go, ha, right, it's not going to go well.
So wait, what you're telling me is I need to know that about myself, honestly. Jesus Christ. That's fucking ridiculous. All right, I can't eat a Butterfinger properly, and I guess that has other implications for aspects of my life as well. So thank you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you got to, it's all control. It's all about control. If you can control, it well enough, you can kind of control the outcome. All right. And that's what I'm talking about here. It's like, if you go in messy and you bite down on it, it's going to spray, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be, it's going to go everywhere.
I got butter all over my fingers.
Yeah. You're like, oh no. It's like, now you got bits of chocolate and, whatever the fuck is inside a Butterfinger. And it's all on your shirt and on your pants and stuff. And it's,
It's a Butterfinger bukkake.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. A little. Yeah, it's a Butterfinger bukkake. And then from there, but if you can break it off properly, it's not as bad. Okay. Anyway, we're having a very odd conversation here, but to get into some super chats, thank you.
Yeah.
Andrew says, how about you just let eggs taste like eggs, you godless savage? What are you going to say next? You like steak well done with ketchup? Listen. All right, I make bomb-ass eggs. And I still fucking put like Tapatio or fucking oh my god, what is the other stuff called? You know what belongs on green cap stuff.
You know what belongs on eggs? Cheese, salt, and pepper. That's what you put in eggs.
No, you don't need fuck that. You know what you do, man? You know what you do? You don't gotta put fucking salt or pepper on that shit. All right, you can take you take a little bit of garlic salt, and you put it on there. And then you take a little bit of pepper, you put it on there. But the key is, as you're getting scrambled eggs done, right, as you're getting ready to finish them up, just take a light dusting of Parmesan and toss that shit on there, dude. Fucking delicious. Yeah, it's really good. Right?
If you tried cheese, but I don't know about Parmesan.
Cheese melts and it gets all gooey, and you basically have like a kind of like a mentally deficient omelet. Like, if you're going to put cheese in fucking eggs, just make a fucking omelet. Bring out the tomatoes and the onions and you make an omelet. If you're going to have scrambled eggs, put like you don't got to put a lot of cheese in there. Just do a little bit of Parmesan. All right. It melts right in. It tastes really good. And then you take, a little bit of hot sauce, put it on there too. You can do a little sriracha, a little bit Tabasco. There's a lot you can do with eggs, man.
Tabasco. Yeah.
Southwest that shit up.
That is a good point.
Anyway. And no, by the way, I like my steak medium with A1 sauce. Thank you. And not even A1 sauce. You give me, if it's juicy enough, you don't need no A1 sauce, man. You just eat it like it is. But no, I'm not a godless savage. And I like eggs. I like them all. Stays fine. Shiny Ear says daily tax to JRS, the Jarbo Revenue Service. Thank you for reminding me. I actually have to finish filing my taxes tomorrow. So I'm going to get a very angry email from my CPA in the morning asking me, where are your taxes? Speaking of morons like myself in this particular case, I want to talk with you about probably one of the biggest morons I think in Hollywood right now. And that is Gina Carano, who's an idiot. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, keeps digging that hole, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, Gina. I got emails over this today. All right, I got emails over this today. So Gina put this out on her Twitter account, right? Obviously trying to make a crack about Joe Biden and Harvey Weinstein. Never mind. Never mind just like oh my God. Like, she's not going to work in Hollywood again. She's now like Kevin Sorbo. She is relegated. She's going to have a Cameo account here in about a year. And she's going to sit there and she's going to preach all sorts of anti-vax nonsense to people for $300 a take. Like, do you want me to tell you all about my time working on The Mandalorian? No, Gina. Tell me about how getting the Fauci ouchie is going to make my balls shrivel. Or expand in the case of Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend.
Wow.
Music Man here says, no, she fucking didn't. Yeah, she fucking did.
Was this the stream I was on in like just a week or so ago, where someone was like, "Yeah, I think Gina could come back in 2 to 3 years if she keeps her mouth shut." And I'm just like, it's gonna take longer than that.
Ish.
Now it's gonna
Well,
take even longer than that.
if
If
she,
she
yeah,
does
if she
it.
kept her fucking mouth shut, you know what I mean?
She's not gonna at this point. She's gonna keep talking her shit.
It's the thing is, it's like, look, you can have your opinion, you know, you can have your opinion over the vaccine and like how Biden is implementing it. You can have your opinion about that. That's perfectly fine. You know what? Question things. I have no problem with that. I have problems with disinformation, but Harvey Weinstein was an abusive sexual predator who used fear and intimidation for like decades in Hollywood to have control over these women and these people. And he established himself as like the king of Hollywood. And he used this kind of stuff in order to get what he wanted. This is not the same fucking thing. And it is just, and again, I'm telling you this right now. If anyone sits there and criticizes her on this, you know what she's going to say, right? Well, I just reposted it, because this is what right wingers do. Have you ever noticed that? They just repost something, and then if you question them on it, they go, well, it was a meme. I just reposted a meme. How was I supposed to know?
It's one thing to like or retweet something, and it's a whole nother thing to literally just post it again repost it on your account. Like, I'm sorry, but if you repost it on your account, then yeah, you're basically endorsing what's being said there. Unless you say otherwise. Sure, if you say something else on it and you say, this is fucking stupid, that's for one thing. But no, it's clearly like the reason why this was posted is because she believes that this is like either funny and right, or both. So like, I don't know. It's I don't know what to say. That you can't really get out of that. It's not like it's
No.
just a retweet or a like, and even then it'd be a little bit sus. But it's a wholesale repost of a meme made by somebody else who believes the same shit.
And this isn't the same thing as before, where she was like, trying to talk about how, being a Jew in Nazi era, I guess maybe Germany or Ukraine or whatever it was. Someone tried correcting me on that the other day. They're like, well, it wasn't Germany, it was Ukraine. Oh, okay. So we're just splitting hairs over, the country of this. Never mind everything else. I don't know. It's just like she's just so dumb at this point in time. HBard's here saying Gina Cupano, 100% correct. Rhea here says use coupon code Gina for 15% off your PureFlix subscription.
Coupon.
And then Hank here, coming out of the woodwork. Haven't seen Hank in a while. Says Gina is a dumbass. Shocker. Oh yeah, no, 100%. But then also, so on the Harvey Weinstein front, that's why I kind of wanted to touch upon it real quick, because the Harvey Weinstein thing brought up another little piece of information today. Did you hear about this one? Where according to Culture Crave, Elijah Wood says that Peter Jackson designed an orc to look at like Harvey Weinstein during The Lord of the Rings, with the quote there, "Fuck him." I love that,
great.
by the way. I love that, by the way. So I went looking into this a little bit. I went looking into this a little bit. I wanted to get more context for how things were. And apparently, so what people need to realize about Harvey Weinstein's involvement on the Lord of the Rings movies was that Peter Jackson actually spent 18 months developing them at Miramax before the movies moved over to New Line. So they were already balls deep in this thing by the time, New Line came into it here. But I found this article from 2018. It's a Peter Jackson interview where he talks about Harvey Weinstein, saying he was a real bully, and it was mafia thuggery. That's the term he used, mafia thuggery. And so to go into that a little bit deeper, this is what it says. He says here that during development, they famously went through multiple incarnations with one infamous producer wanting to take the films away from Jackson and give them to Quentin Tarantino. That was Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. Pull Jackson off the property and give it to Quentin Tarantino. What in the fuck?
Some of the most acclaimed films of all time could have been robbed of their actual director. That's nuts. Just because Harvey Weinstein is a pervert.
I mean, like, look, Quentin Tarantino directing Lord of the Rings would be a fascinating thing to watch.
It'd be very interesting. I'm not saying that's not an alternate universe I'd like to peek into,
sure,
but I'm glad we got what we got.
But it'd also be like Kevin Smith directing the Lord of the Rings franchise. You know, it would be interesting, but it wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, because it's not, literally.
Because it's not. I mean, like, you know, there would be so much about Hobbit's feet if Quentin Tarantino had directed. There
Oh,
would be
no.
so much footage, so much B-roll footage. There'd be an entire camera department
footage.
for just filming Sean Astin's feet, you know, while making this movie. That's what they would do. But anyway, now it says here that they also wanted to blacklist, that Peter Jackson was convinced by Harvey Weinstein to blacklist Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino from the film. Weinstein, of course, has denied all allegations, but, you know, hey, whatever. Now, what Jackson says now is what we got was a real bully, a very unpleasant experience, purely because they had this mafia thuggery, and that's no exaggeration. We ultimately left them and were happy to leave them. Me and Fran Walsh, who's Jackson's wife, promised to never work with them again, and I haven't spoken with Harvey for 20 years. So, you know, basically at one point, Jackson keeps talking about this. And when they talk, this is from 3 years ago, but they bring up the idea of like Harvey Weinstein going to court. And he says here, it's up to the courts and the justice system to find out what's true. If he's done anything like what he's been accused of, justice should be brought. It's black and white for me, which is a fair point. So I'm very much like, and the thing is, if you know anything about Harvey Weinstein, like, you know that this guy pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to get what he wanted. And so people were afraid of him. Like, there's even, did you ever see Entourage?
No.
You might be too young for Entourage. Entourage was a show on HBO about an up and coming actor who was basically like the character Vincent Chase was basically Mark Wahlberg in the early 90s.
Mark Wahlberg.
Because Mark Wahlberg produced the show. And it was basically kind of like an autobiography exaggeration of his life back in Hollywood when he was coming, you know, when he was on the up and coming and whatnot. And they had a character named Harvey that popped up in a couple episodes, and he was hated and he was feared. And that was obviously an homage to Harvey Weinstein. Everyone knew who the fuck it was. You know, like, no one questioned that shit. If you were on Harvey Weinstein's good side, he treated you like family. Kevin Smith was on Harvey Weinstein's good side for years. Quentin Tarantino, I'm pretty sure Robert Rodriguez. A lot of the up and coming indie guys that we revere now, he helped them get their start back then. And, you know, I mean, so like the guy had an eye for talent, absolutely. But what he did with that was, you know, how he used it as a bit of an iron fist over people. Or I should say an iron thumb, really. It just, you know, it was really terrible. Plus, did you ever hear the story about the ficus?
The ficus.
Apparently, like, when all of the accusations against Harvey Weinstein were coming out, there's a story that was told, like, he was like in like the kitchen or something like that, or in like the back room or a hallway behind a nightclub. And he was like trying to like get with a woman, and by using intimidation, and it wasn't really working. So apparently he like, and I'm probably wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but the story I read was that he basically whipped it out and he like beat off on, and then like finished on a ficus, like right there, like as a power move. Like, you're going to watch me come on this plant. Like, that is the kind of mentality this person had, allegedly.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of the crazy thing that happened there. All right. And Andrew here says that Entourage character is awesome. Yeah, Harvey was fun. And then what we got here, hold on. And then Andrew also for $5, buddy. Thank you. Going back to Gina Carano. Gina Carano comes from an extremely wealthy family. She wasn't working in Hollywood because she had to. They own several casinos in Reno. Yeah, no, she's loaded. She's loaded. You know, she can say whatever she wants. She won't get something as big and massive as The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like, that would have cemented her legacy in entertainment outside of just being a fighter. Not to say that there's anything wrong with being a fighter and that it doesn't have its legacy. It absolutely does. But like, moving on with your career, like, she threw it all away for like people like drunk 3PO, which is a weird thing for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me on that front. Anthony asking if I'm doing call-ins. No, I'm not tonight. Not tonight. And then McLeodier says, at this point, I'm not willing to rule out the possibility that Gina is now stirring up shit and trolling only because she wants attention. Well, that's possible. It makes me wonder if there's going to be another announcement over that movie she's working on over there at the Daily Wire. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Rational here asking, so are Drunk 3PO and Gina getting married? No. But expect those guys to use her as much as they possibly can to get whatever they can get out of her. And speaking of someone who absolutely will use whatever they can to get whatever they can possibly grab out of the grift. Have you ever heard of someone named Breanna Wu?
Yeah, I've heard of that name before. Not in a very long time.
Oh, it's coming back with a vengeance. She's coming back, Annie. She's coming back hard. Fictional GamerGate series in the works from Mind Riot Entertainment and video game developer Breanna Wu. I don't have the mental capacity right now for the to aptly describe or represent the internal screaming I am feeling reading this headline.
Want to know why I didn't like her so much? I like her even less than most people, and because she ran for office in this state. She had the audacity to fucking run for office, if you remember that news line.
Oh, I remember. And she's from your neck of the woods, too.
Yep.
She's from your neck of the woods, yeah. Oh, yeah. And not a lot of people do. Anyone remember the moon rock incident?
The moon rock incident?
Yeah. She made a comment about, like, how a moon rock could, like, kill us all.
What?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm not even kidding you. I will bring it up. I'll bring it up before we get into the story here, because just to give you guys an idea of how batshit insane Breanna Wu is. This is from the Washington Times, which is a right-leaning website out of DC. So this is true. Breanna Wu claims companies could destroy cities by dropping rocks from the moon. Yes, she actually said this in a tweet. Yeah. So Breanna Wu here, prominent SJW in the Gamergate controversy, and this is when it was now running for the seat in Massachusetts 8th District, suggested in a since-deleted tweet that companies could drop rocks from the moon. Saying here, and this is the tweet, the moon is probably the most tactically valuable military ground for Earth. Rocks dropped from there have the power of thousands or hundreds of nuclear bombs. She actually said that. And part of the reason why is because SpaceX had announced they wanted to do, tourism on the moon. There was also, I think, right around that same time, China was talking about how they wanted to put advertisements on the moon. China was making a play for the moon back then, I think. Like, China was literally like, we want to go to the moon and put a billboard up there. Like, for what? Neil Armstrong's footprints? That flag that sits, like, unattended? Like, is it gonna buy, like, something, a 10-cent product? I don't know what their plan was. But again, like, I understand, like, the tactical, what she's trying to say about the tactical nature of it, but the way she says it is so ridiculously stupid. And during Gamergate, she was, like, just the worst. And I say this because, look, what got her prominent in Gamergate was she says that she was harassed, right? As everyone who ever encountered Gamergate from the opposite side makes the claim. But she says that 8chan doxed her. That was her whole thing, right? 8chan doxed me. They doxed me. I was in the thread when that information popped up, and guess what happened to that thread? That post was almost immediately removed.
Wow.
But she was able to go out there and make that claim.
No bias at all.
No, yeah, but she openly admitted that she went on to 8chan and started trolling Gamergaters on 8chan as a way to piss them off. And then this little thing happened, and then that gave her the extra sway and prominence of always being the victim on that front, in order to then run around and make the claim, I was Gamergate's #1 victim. right? Because she likes to crawl up on that cross and die a martyr. But the other thing here is this. Now, I will fully admit, she was getting harassed pretty heavily from one guy who was not affiliated with GamerGate. His name was Desert Beagle. I forget his real name, but he was part of Sam Hyde's $1 Million Extreme. He was part of that crew of like over the top, Frank Hassel type guys, the over the top trolls. And so he was going after her pretty hard. And it was definitely something to watch, but that was it. And I'll tell you guys this as well. The FBI spent 2 years investigating GamerGate. They investigated it. They did tons of investigation into it. And when they finally put out their report, do you know what they found, Annie? Nothing. They found nothing. That's the whole point. They found nothing, but Breanna can't let it go. So let's find out more here. Also, are you still here, or did you dip?
No, I'm here. I was just actually looking into like the campaign that she ran, and it seems like it was a complete and utter disaster.
Well, I'll say this: she got like 37% in 2018, which was
she got
way
27%.
Oh, 27%. That's still way too high.
And it seems like this year it went down to 23%. I'm pretty sure, because she ran again.
Yeah, well, then she dropped out though. I think before the election. I think.
Oh, okay. I saw a source that said that she got 23% at some point.
Oh well, you know what? It ain't 51. So we good. You know what? This is where Boston has redeemed itself in my eyes.
Wow.
You stopped Breanna Wu. So this is the thing, and this is where it's going to get crazy. All right. The series is set to explore the origins of the widespread intimidation campaign from the perspective of multiple fictional people in the game industry, from executives to journalists and indie developers. So they're going to fictionalize and editorialize literally everything. They're literally going to sit there and create multiple fictional people in order to tell this extremely one-sided fucking narrative that is in no way accurate or indicative of what actually happened. And this is the thing. There was a show she was on called The Internet Ruined My Life. Did you ever see that?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was on Sci-Fi, right? Andrew here saying that Boston is just the south of the north.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Okay.
What?
Here. You know what? To give you guys an idea of just what kind of craziness we dealt with on this front, right? Because they're going to work on that. Also, the company that's making this is based out of Seattle, and I'm legitimately interested in reaching out to them in order to be like, would you guys like to hear the other side of the story? If you're going to be talking about the origins of this as a person who was there, allow me to enlighten you on reality. But of course, that's going to most likely be met with deaf ears, to be fair.
Yeah, people don't want to hear other perspectives other than their own.
People don't want to hear the truth.
They want to hear things that like completely confirm what they already believe. That's the only new perspectives they want to hear is new perspectives that confirm their own perspectives.
Good old cognitive bias.
Yeah.
Right? Or cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias. I got my terms mixed up, but there we go. I don't want to think, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Okay, so this is just a clip. The Internet Ruined My Life, Game Over, from episode 102. This is only 3 minutes. You've got to watch this.
I had no idea your life could change this suddenly. You know, 1 minute I sent a tweet, and 24 hours later, I had to leave my house. I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
One time I looked at Twitter, and there were 6 specific death threats for me. And we had to call the police and have them meet us at our home. And
Okay, what she's referring to there are the Kevin Dobson tweets, if I recall correctly.
Kevin Dobson.
Yeah, no. That was the Twitter account. I think that was her, or that was the ones aimed at Anita. Either way, it was an anonymous account that was saying a lot of shit, and it just happened that account was created that day, and that account was very much like no one believed it was real. Right? Like Breanna says, "Oh, I go to 8chan to troll them, and then they have my address." And you know where apparently like it was rumored where the address came from? Her husband had a website, and that website's whois information wasn't protected. And that's how they got the address. I find that like super sus, dude.
I don't know.
Super sus. She's anyway, yeah.
They came in and swept our entire house, looking for people there to hurt us. And the police's response to me is to simply stay off my electronic devices.
The law generally finds itself in a state of catch-up to technology. As a result, law enforcement doesn't always have the tools or the best tools that we need in order to capture the kind of aggressive behavior that has become all too common on the internet.
We spent about a week and a half out of our house. And
you know what the worst part about
point,
this is using this person as like the poster child for like a serious issue that actually does need to be talked about, and that we do need to actually have a conversation regarding. Just using someone who's just been known nonstop as a bullshit artist, like this is not the type of person that we should be putting out there to like, oh yeah, this is an example of someone who's dealt with so much. It's like, I can tell by a lot of like what this person's done that it's shit they brought on their own fucking selves. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean harassment's okay. You shouldn't go out and fucking harass people. But just why use such a controversial figure if you're going to do a piece that you want people to actually take seriously?
Yeah, I do want to quickly correct myself though. It was Death to Breanna Wu was the account. The Kevin Dobson tweets, I was mistaken. That was aimed at Anita Sarkeesian. There's a lot of info from back then. Sometimes I got to go back and like, make sure I'm correct on. But yeah, Music Man says, what in the actual fuck am I watching? Something that was produced for television a number of years ago. But let's continue. On Sifi, that's right.
Wait, you can't live out of a hotel forever. So we switched over to the system where if the death threats I got that day were particularly terrible, we would leave and go stay at a friend's house. I was living my life where, depending on how many threats I got that day, it would determine where I would sleep at night.
See, and again, she would still go back home. And there were never any, like, the FBI, like, never found anyone from GamerGate to be sending any death threats. Like, that's the whole point. Is, like, she also never, like, really produced any information on this front. And it was always just, like, listen and believe,
if you're this fucking paranoid, you're going to run for office? Yeah, I don't believe it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, it's crazy. Jess here with $2 though says, didn't Law and Order make an episode about it? Oh yes. And Breanna lambasted the fuck out of them for that. She hated all that shit. Simply because there was because she wasn't, because like Logan Paul was in that episode, by the way. Logan Paul was the bad guy in the episode of the GamerGate episode. Like Toby Turner made an appearance in it. I mean, like, dude, that shit came out in like 2014, I think, 2015, and it was like early 2015, and the whole thing was like so fucking over the top. Go home, gamer girl. Like, what the fuck? Like was it Ice-T making a reference about according to Kotaku.
It's like what someone in their 40s thinks someone in their 30s thinks someone in their 20s thinks is cool. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. And then Rational here says, what about the John Oliver video of Anita and Zoe? Oh my God, I remember that too. Or what about when Anita Sarkeesian went on Stephen Colbert? Like that's a crazy thing. Like, it's nuts, man. It's all a grift. And at this point, you can kind of see it, right? You can see how it's played out over 7 years. You can see how it's played out. Charbo in order.
Charbo.
That's funny. Love the random BTR episode. Well, you may want to actually tune into the BTR episode I'm going to drop later tonight. All right, because I do talk about this there too. Anyway,
I would sit there and check my voice messages, and it was dozens and dozens and dozens of threats.
I'm coming to your house right now. I will slit your throat, you stupid little whore.
I was also getting video.
It's our high priest for the death omen on Breanna Wu's life, and we are going to finish the fight. We're going to deal with this vigilante style. When we go bloodthirsty on these fascists.
GamerGate targeted me because I decided to say, we are not going to quit. There was
But
one
I mean, like,
Quit what?
quit. But like, the death omen. What, we put a death omen on her?
Oh no,
Like,
he cast a spell on you.
hold on,
Oh,
like, what's it say here? Okay, hold on. Our high priest put a death omen on Breanna Wu's life. Honestly, like, I was in Gamergate. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. You know
Look,
what?
this
Like,
guy's clearly just trying to get another person's soul because he doesn't have one.
it's possible this was the Desert Beagle guy too. This shit was all fucking crazy. Like, but we're just the whole thing. Like, but we're not gonna stop. It doesn't make any sense.
Look at that.
start
Look at that
calling
picture.
my phone.
Oh, I know.
Alerting me that this terrible man using an alien.
I'm the
That's
Lord of
terrible, man.
Gamergate, right? I think this is the guy. I think this is Desert Beagle. I think is who this one is right here.
was threatening very, very specific violence to me.
Yes,
He
yes.
claimed that he was there with an accomplice with guns in the car, driving to my house to kill me. And then moments later, this man himself sent me a very specific, terrifying video. This is my car, and now the piece of shit is crashed. Where he claimed he had crashed his car on the way to my house. And look at this bullshit! Look at this shit!
Clearly a competent person sitting here.
He is just screaming like an absolute lunatic. It is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Where he swears he's going to deliver justice to me.
Not your campaign
with his
results?
own hands. It made me feel so helpless.
All right. So, I mean, like, that seems really over dramatized, correct?
Because it is.
Oh, it so is. Like, that dude did flip his Prius. He did. And then he did go on a rant, and that was Desert Beagle. Again, not related to Gamergate. He was part of $1 Million Extreme. So, totally not related, but none of that even matters. Facts and logic don't matter here.
So wait, the actual video that exists is different?
No. Hold on.
They lied? Sci-fi outright fucking lie?
Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, so I mean, this is from 2015, right?
Man, this could be science fiction for all we know.
Oh, I wonder if I can. Oh, it's unavailable. God damn it!
It's unavailable.
It's unavailable. But like, look, I'll show you guys this right here. This is from like Jezebel did an article on it, and never mind, it's fucking Jezebel and shit. But to give you guys an idea of just how over the fucking top that whole goddamn thing was. All right, this is like the first, like this is the beginning of the video. Jace here, I forgot that's his name. That's Desert Beagle's name. I'm posting this for evidence of attempted murder. I didn't realize it at the time, but the timing was too perfect. I suspect Breanna Wu rigged my mom's Prius to crash and or kill me to silence me from being a #Gamergate vigilante. I challenged Breanna to a street race for Gamergate, and right after that, she bought a racing motorcycle, and then this happened. Like, that's the kind of crazy shit, dude. Like,
And
that
then
is...
that happened.
And then that happened. My God. My God. All right. I found the video.
Oh, shit.
Let's finish this. This like 10 seconds left, and then I'll play that other video.
Yeah, this art.
One of the hardest things about being targeted with this kind of harassment is you constantly worry that people around you are targeting you.
Everybody wants to be internet.
No.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought I was muted and I had to
You
burp.
weren't.
I weren't. That was loud. I know. I apologize. But that is also, that's my response to that nonsense too.
Yeah, that's fair.
is very much the like whatever. But all right. So this is the full video. This is only 2.5 minutes to give you an idea. So we saw what Sci-Fi put out there, right? And this of course is going to be a basis for everything. And H Parts here says Angry Joe got mad at you for hating on Anita. Yeah, I was in 2 of Angry Joe's biggest gaming controversies of the year, 2014 and 2015, if I recall. So I've been in there, yeah. Anyway, so Ice-T had never heard of Gamergate until you told him about it. I think so. No, he'd heard of it. But I made fun of him like one day. He said something about like and I'm all like, oh, is that what like you like? Oh, did you read it in Kotaku or something? And I said #Gamergate, and he's like, like I was on my way to a temp job, and I was on the bus in the morning. I didn't even think about it. I checked my phone again like a couple hours later, and like Ice-T had retweeted me or quote tweeted me.
Oh wow,
it was really funny. I was like, oh, all right, fuck yeah, dude, Ice-T, hell yeah, dog. All right, so this is from January 30th, 2015. So this is about like 5-6 months into Gamergate to give you an idea of just a bit of the timeline here. So here we go.
Hello, YouTube. This is Jace right here, and this is my fucking car, or my mom's car, that when I was street racing could not perform! Couldn't fucking perform on the road, and now the piece of shit is crashed, okay? I can't even kick the windshield because it's made of bullshit plastic from Chinks, because I wasn't even fucking drunk. I was just racing, like normal.
Hey, wait a minute.
I was trying to street race.
Yeah.
This isn't a problem of Gamergate. This is a problem of how we treat mental health in this country. Are you fucking serious? What's this have to do with anything? Like,
have you ever heard of $1 Million Extreme?
$1 Million Extreme.
Have you ever heard of Sam Hyde?
Sam Hyde.
Do you know that he like? I mean, you've heard of Sam Hyde before, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that name before. Yeah.
All right, so like that the guy who always holds like he always has the picture of a gun every time like there's a shooting. He end up like people say that he's the shooter. It's like a meme.
Oh, okay.
So like that's kind of the whole thing here. Look, okay, so I just took this quick snapshot from Wikipedia here. All right, so $1 Million Extreme is an American sketch comedy troupe. The main members are Sam Hyde, Charles Carroll, and Nick Rochefort. The group remains largely inactive since the cancellation of their show World Peace in 2015. They're also known for their online videos, anti-comedy, and public pranks, mainly uploaded on their several related YouTube channels. They're also controversial for their support of alt-right and white supremacist fans and Sam Hyde's connections to the alt-right. And the thing is, they had a show on I think Adult Swim. And yeah, they were going to do a 15-minute sketch show. And May 7th, 2015, it was announced that MDE was slated to have their own live-action 15-minute sketch show on Adult Swim. It was to be set in a post-apocalyptic nightmare or world that satirizes the current political climate. And it was called $1 Million Extreme Presents World Peace. And and then again, when it came out that Sam Hyde had connections to the alt-right, the show did not get renewed for a second season. So these guys are all over the top comedy, right? That's what they do. And that's what this guy, I think his name was like Jace Connors, if I recall. And that's basically what he's doing here. He was connected to them. And I think this was his like fucking audition or something.
Wait, this is supposed to be comedy?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. Yeah. Okay, Kira here says, that's Jace Connors. Yeah, MDE alum. Had Kiwis fooled for years. Again, this is all like over-the-top comedy that is not meant to be taken seriously, but the way that it's presented and the way that Breanna twisted it and Sci-Fi twisted it and everything else, they've turned this into something. She knew goddamn well in that video clip from Sci-Fi that this guy was full of shit. She knew goddamn well he wasn't real by that point in time, but it didn't matter because she needed to fake her way through. But let's just finish this thing up.
In the fucking highway, and look at this bullshit. Look at this shit. Totally useless. I hit and I fucking rolled on the ice. Fucking rolled down here, and now look at this piece of shit. I'm a street racing god. Fuck, I'm a street racing god. And this piece of shit. And this is all because of Ivan and the rest of these terrorists. You fucking made me do this, and this isn't my fault. And just because the road was slippery doesn't mean I'm not a street racing god. and I'm a commander of the United States Game Raiders!
Wait, I know why I couldn't recognize it as being comedic, because it's not funny.
It's not.
I'm sorry. It's not funny.
To me, because I you know, spent years in this shit. To me, it's like I get the absurdist humor of it because like we all knew that it was a joke, but everyone treated it like it was real, and that ends up being like the biggest thing here. So, but again, this is like I was wrong before. That wasn't the clip from the beginning. This is just what he says here in the center. So, Jace here. I'm posting this for evidence of attempted murder. I suspect Breanna Wu rigged my mom's Prius to crash and or kill me to silence me for being a GamerGate vigilante. The crash happened today while I was driving to Wu's house in order to expose her as a corrupt gamer by racing her on camera. Breanna Wu's super expensive new bike. Suspicious timing much? Like, okay. Do you guys ever remember like those fucking videos on YouTube that were always like the red text, right? The red and white text, like the infographic type videos. Like, do you remember that from like early days of YouTube?
Yeah.
Or am I just a fucking boomer?
No, I remember that shit. I know what
like,
you're talking about.
That is what that's what he's doing here. So they post this like, you know, this tweet from Breanna. This is her motorcycle, you know, and it's from October 2015 or whatever, right? Shit. And he says like, so it says, yes, I'm the one who threatened Breanna on Twitter and elsewhere, but those are red herring threats designed to draw her out of hiding. I'm not just some threatening thug. I don't believe in violence. I believe in justice. My only weapon is truth, you know? And then it's like, he had like Deagle Nation and shit. Like that's his whole fucking thing here. You know, today's race is only supposed to be phase 1 of the operation. I'd planned to destroy the SJW movement together with Eli. Now that phase 1 has failed us and Wu is on to me, it's safe to declassify the rest of the operation, which will be known as Operation Wu-pocalypse. I mean, like, this is the whole thing, man. You know, look at this here, right? Like the SJW movement has gone too far. And as a gaming vigilante, it's my job to hold the industry responsible. This counter-journalism campaign will uncover shocking facts to discredit the SJW people online, dude. Like at no point could you take any of this seriously.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
It's so fucking stupid. And that was the whole part of it, right? You know, it says here, like, I may be out of the race, but my co-journalist Elijah is already halfway across the continent, ready to begin phase 2. This isn't over.
So Breanna Wu was fully aware that this person's just apparently some unfunny comedian.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this here. Elijah is a seasoned war journalist who documented the Israeli-Palestine conflict with his overseas vlogging. He is more than up to the task of uncovering this corruption. Like...
This guy crashed his car and had an episode on a highway just to do this.
Yeah, I think so. More updates will be coming rapidly. Follow me on Twitter and stay tuned to DeagleNation.tv for updates on the operation, right? Well, let's see here. Let's see if Deagle...
If you're this dedicated to your bit, then you're actually crazy.
Yeah, let's see. Deagle Nation TV. No longer there.
Good.
Right? No longer fucking there. That's my whole thing. Kira here says
for nothing.
Yeah, Kira here says one of the things Jace would do is get drunk on streams, throw up and threaten people with an airsoft pistol while claiming he was a former Marine. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh no, I crashed my car over. This is crazy.
No, but the whole thing is he was playing this massive bit. And that was the whole fucking point, right? He's playing this massive bit and people out there were just like, you know, super fucking like, you know, Breanna was able to her credit, I guess, she was very much able to get people to believe her because at the time, all the media was running with the, you know, the whole thing that GamerGate was this harassment campaign and blah, 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 and all this stuff that it ultimately wasn't. And it's been proven at this point, but you're never going to get the media to actually like defend that stuff. So, that's kind of, that's the unfortunate side, right? That's the unfortunate thing here is, that's where it's at with that. But I just thought that was really, really effing funny that Breanna Wu is still trying and she's going to milk this until the day she eventually dies, probably from old age, you know? And that's it. And then the rest of us out there is, again, it's disinformation campaigns. But Gamergate is like not organized. Now, what I could see happening would be like a couple dissidents or hangers on that want to fight the true fight, you know, like mounting some kind of counter campaign to this, but it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to work.
No.
It's so far removed, and most everyone has already kind of moved on and stopped caring, that it's just at this point now, it says more about Breanna than it does, you know, about anything else. Like, remember when Zoe Quinn optioned her book to Sony? Amy Pascal optioned Crash Override, and there was a rumor that they were looking at potentially getting Scarlett Johansson to play Zoe Quinn in a movie about Gamergate.
That's the most unappealing thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
That was a rumor back then and stuff. And it's like, that's how crazy this gets. So, you know, let's see here. 3 bucket or McLeod says, what a giant scumbag on top of stolen valor shit he spews out of his mouth. Dude, these people don't actually care, right? Like, these people don't actually care what they say. That's kind of the whole point. They say stuff to get your attention and to get you to, like, to effectively to, like, you know, react to them. That's what they want to do. You know what I mean? And so when we talk about all this stuff, you know, when we talk about like people who post really stupid things online in order to get that particular, you know, that particular stupid thing, that the attention and crap, I don't know. I get so fucking, I want to talk about this because this actually really pissed me off too. Tonight's kind of a weird night for all this stuff, but again, talking about people wanting to go out there and seek attention, you know, with Venom having come out, right, we're going to start, we see headlines like this. Look at this here. Disney's MCU just got decimated by Sony's Spider-Man universe.
Oh, man. Always trying to go for clickbait headlines. Like,
oh, yeah. And guess which website this came from?
We got this covered.
Nope. InsideTheMagic.net.
Oh.
Which is a very popular Disney blog. Rebecca Barton is the one that runs all of that nonsense over there. She posts all this crap. And obviously it's a clickbait title. She's just saying that Venom 2 did very well and it made more money than Shang-Chi did and probably Black Widow did in its opening weekend. Yeah, that's the case. It also has has Spider-Man to kind of really help promote it. Keep in mind that Venom was tracking at $40 million before the leak started to come out about what it was.
Spider-Man's, Venom's a much bigger character, like merchandising wise, than those two as well. So, like, is anyone really surprised? Like, yeah, it's Venom. He's bigger than Black Widow and Shang-Chi. Like, those are, well, Black Widow, I guess, is like, she's really only known to MCU fans. Venom's known outside of the MCU. You know what I mean? And Shang-Chi, a lot of people just don't know Shang-Chi. That's something that they're building up as a franchise. So.
Yeah.
And no, Venom is
100%.
the biggest character of those two, so it makes sense he'd make the most money.
So it's no, I mean I completely agree. It's plus the first one came out a couple years ago. It blew past expectations, and obviously that was something that people were excited for, and they wanted to see what was going to be coming next, and they wanted to see how things were going to play out. And obviously this one is going to capitalize on that. And I mean, it's just, I just find it to be so real effing weird that they need those kind of articles to do that shit. They really do. It's just, it's frustrating stuff there, man. And Moisture here says, Inside the Magic is worse than we got this covered at this point. It feels that way. And the thing is, like, I've actually like tweeted at like the EIC of Into the Magic, and I've asked them like, why the fuck? Like, why the fuck do you allow this shit? And it's like, they don't care because they're getting their money. So there's that. Clicks. Yeah, getting them clicks. So yeah, there's that. That's the one real quick thing on that front. I just wanted to bitch about it like a boomer. The other thing here I thought was really funny. Did you hear the big news today about William Shatner?
No, what about him?
Motherfucker going to space.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, wow, that's crazy.
90-year-old Bill Shatner is going to go to space with Jeff Bezos. Going to space. Damn. Jeff Bezos. I mean, like, look, he's going to be the oldest person to ever go to space. It is entirely likely that the G-force alone from going on that gigantic cock rocket could kill Captain James Tiberius Kirk.
Don't say that.
I don't want that by any stretch of the imagination. I love Bill Shatner. But it's like, you know what, man? If I'm just going to say, if that was going to be me, if I was going to go out on that front, I would absolutely. I'm like, you know what? I'm 90 years old. Fuck it, man. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I'm ready to go. I've seen a lot. You know, he's like, I've banged every color of chick out there, right? He
Including
probably
ones
has.
that don't exist.
Even ones that don't exist.
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
broke barriers on television by having the first interracial kiss on TV.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
Is known throughout this universe and beyond as being Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. I mean, you know, if you're gonna you go hit 90, you're like, all right. I mean, I'm in my twilight years. What else can I really do at this point besides piss off people on Twitter? Might as well go to fucking space. You know, like shit. I mean, that's the thing. I would do that in a heartbeat, man. Like shit, yeah. Like I mean, everyone else, like you know, like Leonard Nimoy is dead. DeForest Kelly is unfortunately gone. You know, you know what? Richard Koenig is still alive. Nichelle Nichols is still alive. George Takei is still alive, which is all cool. You know, but like, I bet you they're jealous as fuck. I bet you George Takei is super jelly because he's like, you know, because I'm pretty sure that Takei has come out and criticized Bezos. And now, he's gonna William Shatner is gonna go to fucking space. I think Shatner's doing it to troll George Takei. If I had to guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see here. Andrew Dunbar says for $2, buddy. Thank you. That would be an awesome way to die. To go out in space. Yeah. I mean, clearly.
I mean, that'd be really strange because then like he'd be up there for all that time before they could get him back down. You know?
Yeah, it would be like, could you imagine? Come in mission control. This is the captain of the cock rocket. So Bill Shatner, he dead. He has apparently passed away from the impact of leaving the atmosphere. And
I feel bad for the person who just came in right now.
Yeah, right. Or and then hold on, and then due to the physics of what happens when life leaves your body, especially at an older age, he has defecated himself, and yeah, Shatner shit. Way to go, Bill. Love you, buddy.
Wow. If that actually ends up happening, then you're gonna feel real bad, Jarbo.
Yeah. I will.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Now it better not happen, Matt. It better not fucking happen. Or else
I just say things at this point, people. You know. And Music Man here says, like, come on, Matt. What, dude? What? You know, I mean, hold on here. What was that? Kira says, what's the protocol for a dead body from NASA? Most likely just like ditching it out the airlock.
Defecate. You know,
Just,
you gotta clean up the
You gotta defecate it. Yeah, they put it through that weird hydraulic toilet they've got up there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, they're just like, well, we got to get rid of the body. Since there's no gravity in space, they could actually, to be fair, they could probably create a scenario, and this is wildly macabre. So hear me out.
Oh, jeez.
They could probably construct something where they could eliminate, like they could take them apart piece by piece, right? Like surgically, gently, right? With care, with love, in order to flush him down the toilet, to evacuate him into space. And because of the way that it operates and the fact that there wouldn't be like a heartbeat or blood, really it could kind of coagulate itself right there, and it would just make for a very mess-free situation.
Coagulate?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it could be like space's first autopsy.
All right, man. I gotta go take a shower. No, I'm serious. I gotta go take a shower.
All right.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
First time I've ever actually run you off the stream.
No, it's no. I've been trying to tell you I gotta hop off in a little bit. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on. Only got like a couple more things to look at, and then that's gonna be it for me.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Anytime. Take it easy.
I'll see you. Bye. All right. And then Andrew here says he needs to scream "con" before lunch. Yeah, that's. I hope he does. He's gotta definitely do that. Anyway, listen. My joking about. I wish nothing but the best for Bill Shatner. Obviously, I'm just joking around with that. No, love Bill Shatner. 100% want to stick around. McLeod here says this is a slap in the face of many Trekkies, including myself. I hate how all the tech bro billionaires have taken over spaceflight and making everyone believe they're doing this for humanity. I said this when Bezos went to space. That was the most expensive midlife crisis we have ever witnessed. At first, I thought the midlife crisis of Elon launching that car up there with the webcam, right? So we could all watch him throw a Tesla in space, but no, Jeff Bezos going up there and Richard Branson going up there. It's all for their ego. It's all midlife crisis stuff. But I'm not going to lie. If I had the money, I'd probably do it myself. I'd probably do it myself because fuck it. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's see here. According to Command Unit, George Takei was exposed as a pedo by Milo. George Takei talked about, yeah, probably. It wasn't good. It was definitely not good, but he wasn't really exposed by Milo. Milo got that from other people. So I get that. No, I don't remember all the details. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go into it right now. I can look into it at some point. If I recall some of the details on that George Takei thing, it was like someone who was younger, and but remember, like Milo wasn't ever really against that because that's what got Milo canceled from CPAC was when he was on the Drunken Peasants and he had said he was relatively okay with an older gay man being with a younger gay man to kind of show the younger gay man the ropes because that's what happened to him. So it's like, it's a whole thing. It's all political and none of it's right. Like, older, younger, none of that's right. I don't know how else to say that, but that's it right there. And then Andrew here with another 5 bones. Thank you, buddy. Says spacecraft do not eject excrement into space. It would stay in orbit. They bring it back with them like gentlemen. Well, damn it. You proved me wrong. So there's that. And then out of print here saying Matt just being a cucumber as usual. Yeah. So anyway, what else did I want to kind of touch on tonight? Oh yeah. I wanted to talk about Ben Affleck a little bit because a lot of people were talking about this today. Okay, saying that Ben Affleck here says that he had fun playing Batman in The Flash after Justice League. Now he makes a comment here that I thought was really interesting, and I kind of had to laugh at it a little bit because when he was talking about everything. See, I think it's in like the beginning of the clip, or I don't know if the full thing is there, but he says here, I don't want to play it because stupid Hollywood Reporter will claim the video. Now he was asked about reprising his role as Batman / Bruce Wayne in the Andy Muschietti directed The Flash starring Ezra Miller, saying here it was a really nice way to revisit that as the prior experience had been difficult. It says here, this was lovely, really fun. Now, I jokingly said on Twitter that his last experience playing Batman was actually the scene they filmed for the Snyder Cut. So is Affleck really out there saying that the last time had been difficult? Now, obviously, he's referring to Joss Whedon. Obviously, he's referring to all that shit. But I think it's funny because really, he did play Batman before. One day shooting a scene and whatever. But again, semantics, words matter, Ben. Words matter. But no, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's having a good time with it. He's saying here, I'm probably under some kind of gag order that I'm not even aware that I probably just violated and now I'm going to be sued. No, because everyone has known that he's in there, but this is the first time that it's really been confirmed that he was in it. So, and he apparently shot for a week is what I heard. And then he did say here, I love Ezra, and I had a chance to see Jason Momoa, who's over there making Aquaman. And yeah, so I mean, look, what this tells me, and you guys may not agree with me, and that's absolutely okay. What this tells me at this point is that Affleck is out. You know, like Affleck is out. I look, you know, coming on in and shooting for a week as Batman, that's not going to be much. You know, there's not really going to be any fight scenes with that. There's not going to be a lot there unless they've already gone and shot it, and then he's just going to do the cutaways. You know, so he definitely set it up to where it was going out there for a couple days, do a couple bits, and then be done with it. And that was really about it. And I think that's going to be his final say. I think that's going to be his final bow. With any luck, we'll get more out of him on HBO Max. But, you know, I think with The Last Duel coming out, and that's going to be absolute Oscar bait, and him being in demand for The Accountant 2 and a number of other things, I really just don't see them having two mainstay Batmen, right? Like at the same time. What I mean by that is Robert Pattinson is younger. You know, he's younger than Affleck by a number of years, but they're still like relatively like at that point where they could be kind of seen as being very similar ages. Whereas Keaton is 70 and definitely old Batman, not younger Batman. And I have a feeling that might be something that could be confusing. And I know people out there who are Snyder Cut fans, they don't want to fucking hear that shit. I get that. You all want Batfleck to come back. I want him to. You know, you want the multiverse. Sure, fine, whatever. I don't really know why. I think it's kind of dumb, to be honest. And I still stand by that. Because to me, the multiverse is not earned on DC's front. So I don't know. Now, Rainbow here asks, do you think Ben Affleck would join the MCU? I don't think so. I think Affleck at this point most likely just wants to make movies. I think he just wants to make movies. I think he just wants to act. I think he wants to write and direct. You know, doing The Last Duel, he co-wrote that with Matt Damon. The last time they co-wrote a screenplay, that was Good Will Hunting. They won Best Original Screenplay back like what, in 2000, I think? They have done well. That's what he's going to want to do. That's what he's going to want to probably focus on for the last like 20 years of his career. You know, I mean, how old is Affleck? He's like 50, isn't he? Ben Affleck age. How old is Ben Affleck? He is 49 years old. So he just turned 49. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, how much more can he spend in the suit? All those things. You know, and you know, there's that. So it is what it is. I hope it's not the case. Hold on here. Command Unit says, many of the right-wing pundits are grifters. I would have put you in this category. I'm not a right-wing pundit though. Some are just unhinged crazy. Others like Crowder are counterculturist. Crowder isn't, I don't even want to get into that. That guy's got problems. I mean, like, sure, if you want to go back a couple of years, you could argue I was probably more right wing on that front. I mean, I covered right wing talking points more than anything else. I grant you that one, but definitely I wouldn't call myself like, you know, like I try not to think of me. I try not to be a grifter. Oh, during the Monday Matt days. Yeah, I get that, man. But all right, let's take a look here at DC Fandom, because Fandom put out they put out a little teaser today. And so, you know, you get a nice little idea of what's going to be coming up here at the 16th of October, so 12 days, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard. You can see here that Yaha Abdul Mateen 2, J.J. Abrams is going to be there. Steve Agee, Melissa Benoist, Matt Bomer, I think, right? Ed Boon, that's an interesting one. Ed Boon is coming in from Neversoft. So that might put that rumor to bed that Warner's is looking to sell off Neversoft. Flula Borg, Eriko Borgo, Danielle Brooks, Makad Brooks, Pierce Brosnan, Jeffrey Brown, Mandy Bushell, Gary Cam, Linda Carter, John Cena, Noah Centino. I mean, look at this here, guys. Look at all this stuff here, right? But you notice how Affleck is not brought into this. You got Kaylee Cuoco. We're going to finally get the first fucking update on Harley Quinn season 3 in a year, over a year now. Leslie Grace, James Gunn, Grant Gustin. I mean, they're doing a lot here with this. They're really kind of bringing a lot of people. Shiler Lee, Javicia Leslie from Batwoman, Zachary Levi. I mean, you've got Momoa, Anson Mount. Forget what Anson Mount is in, but okay. You know, I mean, you got a lot of stuff for Robert Pattinson, Candace Patton. I mean, you know, like Patty. Why the fuck is Patty Jenkins there? Oh, if Patty Jenkins is coming, that means they might actually give us more information on Wonder Woman 3. Dwayne Johnson, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people that are coming in that they're really trying to make this a bigger thing. I mean, a lot of stuff that's going on. My question though is now that that everything is over in regards to Suicide Squad, bringing the Suicide Squad back to the DC or back to DC fandom doesn't really bring a lot of, I don't know. It's it doesn't, I don't know. It's kind of like, why? Unless they're going to announce the next phase of things, and I think they might do more. Protoss here says, I don't know if I'm down for Wonder Woman 3 after Wonder Woman 84 was so bad. It was pretty bad, yeah. Rational here asking, where's Henry Cavill? No one knows at this point, man. No one knows. He's over there and he's doing The Witcher. And I know they're shooting Enola Holmes 2 right now. Let's see here. Shogun asking, how long is the Fandom presentation? Only 4 hours. Thank God. Only 4 hours. So it starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It goes till 2. I'm going to try to live stream the whole thing if I can. They are doing it from dcfandom.com. I think this time around, they're also doing it on Twitch and YouTube. Makes the most amount of sense for the widespread. But I do want to comment on it. I do want to talk about it because there's definitely a lot of stuff there. Matt here saying Ed Boon will be there. Do I hear Injustice 3 news? I do think that's what's going to happen. I do think that's what's going to happen. And I say that considering the fact that what you've got is the Injustice movie coming out. And so that's going to be a big thing. Shogun here says, not much time for all those people. Now you make a great point. I think it's going to be very similar to last time where they, you know, remember what they did? They did like that big Suicide Squad thing where like everyone talked for like 10 minutes, but like no one really was able to get a word in edgewise. And then they did the thing like, you know, with Wonder Woman 84 playing that stupid fucking game. They're just going to do stuff to fill time. That's really going to be about it. So it's, I don't know. Injustice animated universe. Maybe, man. I think that's going to be pretty popular. I think the Injustice movie when it comes out is going to be pretty popular. And that comes out here pretty soon too. Hold on. Injustice movie release date. When does that come out? That drops here October. Oh, this month. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. It comes out on the 19th of October. It literally comes out 3 days after Fandom, which means that there's a lot there that's going to be there. McLeoder says Todd McFarlane is coming at Spawn? ? Maybe. Maybe they're going to announce that they've worked a deal with Todd McFarlane in order to finally produce the Spawn movie. That would be fascinating. That would be something. I would be okay with that. Let's see. Geeks here says Batman Long Halloween came out early on HBO Max. Nice. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it yet. But I mean, I don't know what's going to be there for this. I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I'm hoping we get a trailer for, you know, for The Flash and we get something. They can put together a trailer. They can do a fucking teaser, give us something. But I was watching that video that DC Fandom put out and it's like, again, they just recycled some shit from last year. They just recycled The Rock saying like, you know, the hierarchy of power is going to change. Like, yeah, we've heard that. We've heard that multiple times, Dwayne. All right. We keep fucking hearing it because you don't stop fucking saying it. So how about you give us something to go off of here and then we can talk about that. But I don't quite know. Now the Watcher here says Todd McFarlane probably there for the action figure line, not Spawn. Most likely, dude. Most likely. But you know what? We can dream. We can hope, right? I would love to see a Spawn movie. I know they keep fucking talking about it, but you never really know what's going to happen. And so that is unfortunate. That's definitely unfortunate for all of this stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll definitely be covering it. With any fucking luck, we'll get some good stuff. I'm hopeful. I might like be critical of why I don't really care for the multiverse that Warner Brothers is trying. But that doesn't mean that I'm not interested in seeing it succeed and interested in seeing it move forward. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But on that note, guys, we're 11:48 p.m. Been on now for an hour and a half. I got to start winding it down. I'll take a couple quick comments from you guys, and then I got to call it a night because I was up a little later than I wanted to last night, and my sleeping schedule is all sorts of screwed. Geek Series says, I want my Spawn. The Watcher says the Spawn movie is coming, though. It is what they've been hinting at it for years, man. They've been hinting at it for years. And then Protoss says this is Hamada's last chance. I mean, kind of, maybe. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't really know. I think Hamada is kind of I think he's kind of okay for right now. They got a lot coming down the pipeline. And if it's okay, and none of it is tied around Justice League. So it's all things that can exist in their own world or their own little sector. And then also the multiverse thing is they're going like, oh my God, it has to be, they're bringing, what is it? They're bringing John Wesley Shipp over to Stargirl, as another way to, expand the multiverse and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, just whatever, guys. I don't quite know. Rational here asking opinion on the Hulu president leaving for NBC. Well, I mean, look, Peacock is having trouble. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For one, the name is terrible. No one likes the name. They should change the name. I think I read somewhere that they might be changing the name. Maybe I just thought that in a dream. But I think like they're going to rebrand Peacock because it's not selling well. It's just not selling well. And they need someone who understands how to build out a streaming service. And that, quite frankly, could be this particular person who's leaving Hulu to go over there. I really wonder where someone like Jason Keelar is going to end up when he is effectively outed from Warner's next year. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I think he could go over somewhere and maybe do some good. Toby Emmerich is staying where he's at. I'm sorry. I know you guys don't want to believe me on that one, but he's got nowhere else to go. Literally nowhere else to go. And if he's a team player, they're probably not going to get rid of him. So there's that. Do I think they're going to show the Batman animated series from Matt Reeves? I do think so. They're going to show some of that stuff. I don't think the Gotham PD show is going to get a lot of info. I'm hoping that there's going to be some stuff, but there's been no movement on that, I think. So I don't know. I don't know. Do I think Ben Affleck is going to make a cameo in the Batgirl movies, Bruce Wayne? I hope so, Jacob. I really do. But I don't know at the same time. I think he's done. I think he's kind of out, and I don't know if he's going to want to keep going back to it. I think he wanted to finish up his run in a positive way, and I think that's what he did here. And why keep coming back to it? Again, he's 49. He can only keep doing it for so long. That's what happens when you put these actors in these roles that are physically demanding, and then you drag your fucking feet. It takes forever, and then eventually they move on. Shogun here asking, are they still doing a new Gods movie? No, that got canceled. Thank God that got canceled. Watcher says, no, Toby's gone. He's not gone. He's got no reason to be gone. Here's the thing. None of what happened with the fucking movies is going to even fall on his feet for right now. It's going to go to Jason Keelar, because Keelar is the one who decided to go day and date. All right. Like, that's not Toby Emmerich. So Toby didn't do anything here. All right. I know Snyder Cut fans want him to go, but he's not going to go anywhere. So, and yeah, Ben Affleck saying that he's had fun doesn't mean that he's done. No, come on, man. Come on. It was a lovely time. I had a great time finishing things up. The last time was pretty bad. This was a lot better of an experience. I mean, unless he's found a newfound love for it and they're going to give it to him. Again, too many Batman, and they're just going to delineate the marketplace. You're going to oversaturate it. And that's not a good thing. That's not good for money or for business, which is why I really hate the argument people make when they say things like, no, you can have every Batman you want. There ain't infinite fucking money to make these projects. There ain't infinite if you do that, if you build out these multiverse things, and then you want to expand all of those multiverses, that is really stretching things out. And that's not good for business. People want actual concise storylines. Yeah, dabble. All right, dabble. dip out, dabble, come back around, whatever. Do what you got to do on that front 100%. But nah, man, don't make it the mainstay of your fucking franchise, because it's only going to burn people out because they don't know what is canon right now. And they don't know where, okay, if everything is canon, then where does it fit into a specific storyline? Because at the end of the day, you're still telling stories. And if you fail on telling stories, that is where you run into problems. And right now, DC ain't the best at telling stories. They're really good at running properties into the fucking ground, especially if those properties are led by Greg Berlanti. Anyway, what about John Hamm as Ben Affleck's replacement for Batman? That'd be pretty cool. But John Hamm is currently doing Fletch, so he may be off on that one. Tony here asking, after Breanna's GamerGate show inevitably fails, what do you think she'll do next? I don't know. Hopefully, stay out of, just stop talking. That's what I think would be good. Zaslav's gonna restore. Stop it, H-Barts. Stop it. H-Barts gun was sent by Feige to destroy the DCEU. Yes. Okay, the Watcher says, it's no different than multiple Spider-Mans, and no one's saying they had enough of that. And besides, the multiverse is the very fabric of comics. Just your opinion. But the thing is, multiple Spider-Mans are being used for a very specific one-time project. Now, they might expand, but I don't see that really happening because the money is going to be with Tom Holland. It's already been with Tom Holland. By expanding into trying to bring back Toby or Andrew, it's going to end up, again, just confusing things. And I think that's going to be a problem. But I agree with you that DC is in a bad spot and the Batman is going to do it. I think the Batman is going to really is going to be bringing it out. Geeks here says Gunn is going to run the DCEU. I'm calling it. I've been saying that for a while though. I said that in 2018 when they brought him on, that he's probably going to end up making more projects there. I think he's doing Guardians to wrap up his storyline, and then after that is he's going to kill it. He's going to move over. I think once he wraps up Guardians, he's going to be done with Marvel. It just makes sense. And then Jacob here says, well, one thing I will say about Greg Berlanti is he knows how to build a universe, but DC Walter Hamada doesn't. Well, okay. You are right on that one. Berlanti does know how to create shows and have them interact with one another. But why was it that Black Lightning wasn't in that universe? I get why Supergirl wasn't. Okay. I get why they were doing all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's also kind of it's kind of ridiculous, to be fair. But he did do it. But the quality of the content that he did, was that really worth it though? That's my question. Because the quality of the content felt really lacking, even though they were able to establish that particular aspect. It doesn't, in my mind, the quality doesn't back up the experience. And maybe I'm overthinking it. The rumor is here that Gunn's going to do the Secret Six. What is the Secret Six? I've never heard of Secret Six. Maybe I have. Secret Six members. Okay, this is DC. Oh, wait, hold on. No. That's abolition. Abolitionists. Nope, not what I'm looking for. All right, Secret Six was a name of 3 different fictional comic book teams in the DC Comics universe, plus an alternate universe's 4th team. All right. And this is, what do we got? We got Bane and a few other people. Deadshot. I don't know who these people are. Some lady with a fan. I don't know. All right. I mean, obviously, obviously that could be something if he wants. He's going to want to stick with the villains. That's for sure. So let's see here. The team had Deadshot and Cayman. So, okay, well, Jacob here says, Greg got HBO Max to do Superman and Lois and is doing good with a big budget. But doesn't Superman and Lois also okay. If Superman and Lois stays contained to Superman and Lois, really, now that Supergirl is basically done, then that could be one thing, because then it's contained to its own area. It's when they start building everything out and they start trying to connect it and the budgets get shortened. I'm glad it's doing well. I hear the show is really good. Maybe they hit their mark with this one, but The Flash was great for the first couple seasons too. The Flash was one of the best things on TV for the first couple seasons. and then it went to crap. So it's like, eventually these things run their course because there's only so much adaptation you can do while still trying to make it original. That's what I'm talking about here. Maybe it's like slow things down a little bit. Okay, hold on. RPK says Black Lightning and Supergirl were in the same universe after Crisis. I can compare whatever I want. I'm talking about the fact that, like, again, I don't think that most shows need 20 episodes per season. I think that's an old, outdated way of doing television. And I think it really kind of hampers the storyline. So if they can solve it by going the cable route of 13 episodes, then that's going to be fine. I will try to watch Superman and Lois. All right, I will try. Rational here says, Matt, you owe me a beer or a bear when Zack Snyder presents Justice League 2 Apocalypse War. It comes out. Yeah, that's fine. Jacob here says, why does people take Mikey scoops? I mean, you know, look, I like Mikey quite a bit, and we've disagreed over some of these scoops before, you know, and everything else. But I think people like him because, again, Mikey, you know, he's got insight, and I think he provides it in a hopeful way, you know, in a hopeful way. Whereas, he doesn't have ego about it. I mean, not as much. Okay. No, he's got a little bit of ego. All right. Mikey knows I love him, but he's got a little bit of ego, and that's okay. Healthy. It's healthy. But at the same time, he's not tribalistic about it, and he's not attacking other scoopers, you know, even though they attack him constantly. And I called one out the other day. It was really funny. Really, really funny. All right. The only show to do it right was Supernatural. I mean, Supernatural maintained itself for 15 fucking seasons, and the fan base never died. So yeah, I mean, and Eric Kripke going over and doing The Boys. I mean, and look at the success of that too. So there's that. Protoss here says the Suicide Squad didn't make a lot of money. Are you sure they want Gunn to lead? Well, again, that wasn't necessarily his fault. All right. Pandemic is a problem. And then also day and date was another issue. Had the Suicide Squad not been day and date, and they didn't do as many free screenings as they did, I do believe it would have pulled in more money. So there's that. All right. Let's see. Jacob here says, I wish Brandon Routh got Kingdom Come HBO Max series for a limited. Dude, I would love to see Brandon Routh come back as Superman. I would love to see that. He got so screwed over back in 2006. I would love to see the guy come back. I think he's great. I liked him as Adam quite a bit. You know, I'm just saying, it's like, you know, you can do it in certain ways, but it doesn't always need to happen. But on that one, guys, it's now midnight. I've got to get to bed. Thank you all very much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please toss a like. I do want to make sure to give a shout out to the channel members here. We did get a couple new ones that I have to add into it, so I'll do that tomorrow. Tonight was kind of a weird night, so I appreciate that. Remember, this month's giveaway is The Thing 4K. Hell yeah. Get in on that shit. Become a member. Drop a soupy. Help out the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode as we get ready for the What If season finale. Thank you all again. Have yourself a fantastic night, and peace the hell out.